Hello friends. So today we are going to discuss about class 7 science chapter 1, the living world, adaptations and classification. Heading: Let's recall. In what ways is the diversity in living things seen? A great variety of plants is found on the earth. Some plants have colorful flowers. Some plants grow in water, whereas some are found in deserts which have a scarcity of water. Some plants are found only in snowy regions. Some plants cannot be seen without a microscope, whereas some are huge in size. Like plants, animals too show diversity. Some are unicellular, others multicellular. Some are vertebrates, whereas others are invertebrates. The world is full of variety of animals: aquatic, terrestrial, amphibian, reptilian, aerial, etc. These observations give rise to the question: how did this great diversity come into being? Heading: Can you tell? Are the plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan of the same type? Can you elaborate on any differences between the two? Coniferous trees like pine and deodar flourish in snowy regions like Kashmir. However, in the deserts of Rajasthan, plants like cactus and acacia are to be found. The camel, a desert animal, is not found in Kashmir. What is the reason for these differences? Subheading: Adaptation. Gradual changes occur in body parts and also in the behavior of the organisms, which help them to adjust to their surroundings. Such changes are called adaptations. They take place over a long period of time. Subheading: Adaptations in plant. Observe and complete the chart. Bracket start. Include other plants from your own region too. Bracket closed. Table headings: Plant, habitat, type of fruit, characteristics of leaves, characteristics of stems. Headings close. First content: Under plant, lotus. Under habitat, aquatic. Under type of fruit, fibrous. Under characteristics of leaves, large and round with waxy layers. Under characteristics of stems, hollow and flexible. Under plants, you have two more entries: cactus and banyan. Subheading: Adaptation in aquatic animals. Again, try this. Visit various water bodies such as a river, brook, pond, lake in your surroundings. What differences do you observe between the terrestrial and aquatic animals? Some of the aquatic plants are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. Their stems are submerged, while the leaves and the flowers float on the surface. However, some plants are entirely afloat. Their leaves are not anchored in the soil. The surface of the leaves and stems of many aquatic plants are covered with a waxy layer. Leaves of some aquatic plants are thin and slender like a ribbon. This shape helps them to withstand fast currents of water. Air spaces in stems and petioles of aquatic plants are useful for floating in water. Use your brain power. 1. Why does the water trickle off lotus leaves? 2. Why don't the leaves of these plants rot in water? 3. Why are their roots short and fibrous? Subheading: Adaptations in desert plants. Heading: Try this. Take two potted plants, one a cactus and the other a leafy plant. Tie plastic bags loosely around the leaves of these plants and keep them in sunlight from early in the morning. In the afternoon, bring those pots into the classroom and observe them. Has the same quantity of water collected in both the bags? Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are like small needles or have been modified into thorns. As a result, they lose very little water by evaporation. The stem stores water and food and is therefore fleshy. The stems are green as they perform photosynthesis in the absence of leaves. Their roots penetrate deep into the soil in the search of water. There is a thick layer of a waxy substance on these plants too. Heading 3. Adaptations in plants of snowy regions. In what way are the sloping branches useful to plants in snowy regions? Plants of snowy regions mainly include conifers like devdar and pine. These trees are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. In the heavy snowfall and extreme cold in these regions, their conical shape prevents the snow from accumulating on the tree, and the thick bark helps the tree to withstand the cold. Subheading: Adaptations in plant of forest region. A variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and herbs are found in the forests. These plants compete themselves for sunlight. Hence, trees grow tall to get sunlight, and climbers and vines grow to a great height with the support of trees. Spring-like tendrils on the stem of some climbers is an example of adaptation. Subheading: Adaptation in the grassland plants. Diverse types of bushes and grasses are found in the grasslands. Fibrous roots of grasses prevent soil erosion. Grasses in the equatorial regions are very tall. Animals like tigers, elephants, and deer can remain hidden in these grasses. However, grasses in the cold regions are very short. Animals like the rabbit are found in such grasses. Vast meadows are found in hilly areas as well as plains. Heading: Observe and discuss. Observe and note down the adaptation in the parts of plants like potato, groundnut, yam, water hyacinth, algo, acacia, carrot, onion, beet, bitter gourd, grapevine, etc., and other plants in your surroundings. Subheading: Adaptation for ingestion of food in plants. Most of the plants are anchored in the ground and are autotrophic. However, plants like dodder (begins cuscuta) are parasitic. The plant body of a dodder consists of yellow wire-like stems. It is leafless and cannot perform photosynthesis. However, it has hostorial (begin sucking) roots for absorbing nutrients from the host plants. These roots penetrate up to the conducting vessel of the host plants to absorb water and food. Fungi do not have chlorophyll and cannot perform photosynthesis. They obtain food from starchy foodstuffs like bakri and bread. They have root-like fibers for absorption of food. Plants need nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium for growth. Plants that grow in the soil which is deficient in nitrogen, like Drosera, begins sundew, Venus flytrap, pitcher plants, etc., fulfill their need for nitrogen by consuming insects. Adaptations are seen in these plants which serve to attract insects and hold them captive. My friend, the internet. Collect information about plant adaptations from websites like www.mbgnet.net. Subheading: Adaptations in animals. Make a list of animals in your surrounding. Compare the diversity of animals listed by your friends with your list. Discuss the habitats, food habits, characteristics of body structure like vertebral column, wings, gills, tails, etc., and prepare a chart. What differences do you see between terrestrial and aquatic animals? As compared to terrestrial animals, the skin and the body of aquatic animals appear to have undergone changes. Fishes have scales on the skin and fins on the body. Their body tapers towards both its ends like a spindle. Fishes breathe with gills instead of nose. Their eyes have transparent eyelids. They have air bladders within the body to help them to float. Observe the bodies of frog, duck, and tortoise. 1. Of what use are their legs to these animals? 2. What helps the frog to breathe underwater? 3. Of what use are the long hindlings of a frog? 4. Why doesn't a duck get wet in water? As the frog and the duck have webbed toes, they can use their legs like oars. Water flows off the waxy feathers of birds like duck and water hen. Webbed toes, slippery smooth skin, and a triangular head helps frog to swim easily through water. They can live on land as well as in water due to their ability to breathe through the skin in water and using the nose and lungs on land. The typical colors of a frog's back helps it to hide among the grasses. Make a list of the name of some other amphibians you know and list their adaptations. Subheading: Adaptation in forest and grassland animals. Carnivorous animals like the wild dog, fox, tiger, prey, and lion have strong legs to run fast and capture their prey. They have claws and their canine teeth are sharp and pointed. What is the function of such teeth? Tigers have padded paw. This enables them to silently stalk their prey and capture it easily. The eyes of predatory carnivores are located in front of their head. It helps them to spot their prey from a long distance. The eyes of herbivores are below the forehead, on either side of the head. This gives them wide-angle vision, which helps to protect them from predators. Their legs are long and tapering with strong hooves, which enables them to run fast, taking long leaps. Their long and freely moving ears can receive sounds from long distances and different directions. Deers and blackbucks have colors that merge with their surroundings. Their teeth are strong for chewing tough plant material. Subheading: Adaptations in desert animals. Deserts are characterized by severe scarcity of water. Hence, desert animals have a thick skin to prevent loss of water from the body. Their legs are long with flat and cushioned soles. The nostrils are protected by folds of skin. The eyelashes are long and thick. Rats, snakes, spiders, lizards in deserts live in deep burrows during daytime and are active at night. Adaptations in animals of snowy region. From the internet, download images of animals like yak, polar bear, white fox, silver fox, mountain goat, Siberian husky dog, and snow leopard. Compare these images with those of similar animals from tropical forest. A white or silver body color, long thick hair on the skin are typical characteristics of animals of snowy region. How are these useful to them? Subheading: Adaptation in aerial animals. Can you tell? What is the main difference between vehicles on the road and aeroplane? The spindle-shaped body of birds also minimizes the resistance of air while flying. With hollow bones, a body covering of feathers, and modification of forelegs into wings, their body is light in weight and adapted for flying. The body of insects also is light in weight and tapers at both ends. They can fly with 2 pairs of wings and also walk with 6 stick-like legs. Bats can fly with the help of patagium, a thin fold of skin between their forelegs and hind legs. Observe the various birds and insects in your area. Adaptation in reptiles. Observe from a distance how snakes and earthworms creep. Which organs do they use for creeping? Are there any special changes for that purpose? Note any such changes. Animals like house lizard, garden lizard, crocodiles use their muscles for creeping. Similarly, they show adaptations in skin, soles of feet, body color, etc. For example, the house lizard and monitor lizard have clawed toes and thin soles, whereas snakes have scaly skin. Adaptations for food in animals. We can categorize animals as herbivorous and carnivorous. Special adaptations are seen in each category to make the process of feedings easy. We will discuss this in great details in the chapter on nutrition. Watch the program on channels like National Geographic Wild, Discovery, etc. to learn about the feeding habits of animals like frogs, snakes, birds, mosquitoes, butterflies, etc. Complete the following charts from your own observations. 3 headings: Adaptation, Animal, Use of Adaptation. Adaptation 1, Sharp teeth. Animal, lion, tiger. Use of adaptation, to tear the flesh. Under adaptations we have long and pointed beak. 3, short beak. 4, long and sticky tongue. And 5th, long neck. Subheading: Adaptation for blending with the surroundings. We cannot easily spot colorful butterflies, lizards, and grasshoppers. They get camouflaged among grasses, parts of plants like stems, leaves, flowers, etc. That is because their color blend with those of their surroundings. Changes that take place in the various organs and life processes of the organisms that enable them to live, feed, reproduce to perpetuate themselves and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surrounding, depending upon the habitat and its geographical condition, are called adaptations. Box, heading, always remember. Content: Adaptation is not a sudden process. It is gradual and continuous. Differences in the structure and appearance of present-day animals and animals of thousands of years ago are adaptations that occurred according to prevailing conditions. It is our duty to conserve this diversity. Second box: Darwin theory of evolution. Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals and suggested that only those organisms are likely to survive which can best adapt themselves to changing environment. This is called the theory of survival of the fittest. This is Darwin's first principle. If an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristics and is able to survive, this change is preserved in the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and is called natural selection. Classification of living organism. Let's recall, why are living things classified? Which are the criteria used for the classification of plants and animals? It is difficult to study and remember all organisms in this diverse living world at the same time. Classification helps in this respect. Different scientists have used different criteria and independently classified plants and animals. A hierarchy is formed in the classification that starts with kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae. Further groups and subgroups are formed depending upon basic similarities and differences. This is called hierarchy of classification. We have table headings as hierarchy, mango, human. First, kingdom. In mango, it's Plantae. In human, Animalia. Phylum. Under mango, it's Anthophila, and under human, it's Chordata. Third, class. In mango, it's Dicotyledone, and in human, it's Mammalia. Fourth, order. In mango, it is Sapindales, and in humans, it is Primata. Fifth, family. In mango, it is Anacardiaceae, and in humans, it is Hominidae. Sixth, genus. Mango, Mangifera. Under human, it's Homo. Species under mango is Indica, and species under human is Sapiens. Subheading: Biological Nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus. Imagine that there are 4 students with the name Kabir or Kiran in a classroom. If you're talking about any one of them, how would you ensure that others know which one of them you're talking about without any confusion? We would tell the full name, that is, the first name and the last name. This is similar to binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is used to identify each organism. Accordingly, a scientific name has been assigned to each organism. It consists of two parts. The first part is genus and the second species. All identified organisms have been assigned a binomial name as per the guidelines of International Code of Nomenclature. All the organisms of a species are so similar that irrespective of differences in color, height, habitats and habits, they can reproduce among themselves and form new individuals like themselves. For example, all domestic cats in the world belong to the same species. This is true in the case of animals like hen, cow, dog, etc., and plants like mango, wheat, maize, etc. Following are some examples of organisms from kingdom Plantae and Animalia classified by binomial method of nomenclature. Table heading: living things, scientific name. Talk: Canis lupus familiaris. Second, cow: Bos taurus. Third, hibiscus. Scientific name: Hibiscus rosaceneus. Fourth, jowar. Scientific name: Sorghum bicolor. Find the scientific name of other animals and plants in your surroundings and discuss in class. Box: 29th April is observed as World Frog Protection Day. Killing or harming frogs is prohibited in the Wildlife Protection Act.